All right, it's time now for Board Games, brought to you by John Sewer and Drain Cleaning, the name to know when the drains don't flow. And Ted, we talk a lot about the physical skill set Josh Allen brings to the table, and clearly we saw that on Saturday night with the historic performance that he had, the legs, the arm. But how about the brain? The brain, he's bringing some savvy to the position here too, Ted. And I know you felt that way specifically on this play. Tell us about it.
Yeah, excellent job by the quarterback. Just kind of knowing where you wanted to go with the ball on this play. Here's the thing. So Josh is doing a great job of kind of reading what the defense is doing by when he kind of adds motions into the plays, okay? And here's the thing. You got a 3-by-1 formation here. The Patriots are playing zone, but you don't know that pre-snap until you motion this wide receiver in, Phil, okay? By motioning this wide receiver in, it's a short little motion. What does that do? It's going to trigger the defense to do something, correct? If it's man-to-man, the Patriots like to lock it, and so you would see this quarterback who was lined up over this wide receiver move with them when he goes in motion. However, when the receiver goes in motion, this cornerback out here, he stays there, and he just bumps the coverage over to this guy. That tells Josh that they're in zone coverage, and that's exactly right. What are the zone coverage are the Patriots in? They're in cover 3, which means he's middle of the field safety. You have he's playing a third. You have this cornerback, J.C. Jackson. He's playing a third, and you have this cornerback out here. He's playing the third, okay? This guy out here has curl. This guy right here has hook. And this guy over here has hook. And this guy has curl. That's cover 3. 3 deep concept right here. And here's the thing, zone eyes. What is zone eyes? The quarterback, once he declares before the snap that they're in zone, what he's going to do, and this is an excellent job by Josh Allen, is when the play happens, you see out here, Stefon Diggs, he outside releases. J.C. Jackson, since he's got a third of the field right here, he's not looking at the wide receiver. He's looking at the quarterback because that's what you do when you're in zone coverage. J.C. Jackson, he bails. He's deep, and he bails at the snap of the ball. Here's the thing. After about 10 to 15 yards down the field, he's looking again because he's playing zone eyes. He looks at the quarterback. What does the quarterback do right here, Phil?
He pumps actually to this side, to get J.C. Jackson to bite, stop his feet.
Just for 1 second. Once he pumps over here, he pump fakes over here, all that does for JC, he relaxes for a split second. He relaxes when he sees the pump, and what does he do? And here's the thing, Stefon Diggs was even with him, and the expression is, if you're even, he's leaving. And so that's all he needed was that little extra time to get past J.C. Jackson. And Josh Allen, you talk about a great throw, but it's using his mind, using the motion, knowing what kind of coverage they're in, using the pump fake to his advantage to get J.C. Jackson, who's an excellent cover guy, to hesitate for a split second. And then once he turns and runs, it's a little bit too late. They make a big play right there. It's the biggest play of the game, I believe.
It's got to be scary for the Patriots, Ted, the fact that this quarterback's brain is catching up to the rest of his body in terms of just how efficient he can be. He knows the coverage, he uses it to his advantage, and he creates an explosive play 45 yards down the field to his best receiver. All right, it wasn't just his arm, though, that did damage on Saturday night, Ted. He had his best rushing game against the Patriots as well. Allen carried it just 6 times, but averaged a whopping 11 yards per carry and picked up a first down on 4 of those 6 runs. Allen also had the longest run of his career against the Patriots, a 26-yard scramble on the very first drive of the game for Buffalo. And that's where we're going with our first Ted-Nique here, Ted. And I know this play really helped spark that offense on that first drive of the game. You had questions about the pass rush because the pass rush is really what opened up an amazingly wide running lane for one of the best athletes at that position in the league.
That's right. As a pass rush, when you have a mobile quarterback like you have with Josh Allen, you want it to be a balanced rush, right? You want every gap filled. You don't want 2 guys in one gap or one side to get collapsed. And that's what happened on this play, Phil, is the whole right side collapsed or actually went away to start the play to the left side, and nobody replaced to the right. So if Phil's going to be my center right here. Sure. You saw the defensive lineman Barmore at the snap of the ball. He stunts to the left. Okay, no problem. He stunts to the left. But the problem is Hightower lined up on this side. He blitzes to the left. Okay, and then you have Juwan Bentley on this side. He rushes to the left. Everybody's to the left, Phil, right? Here's the problem. If some guy stunts to the left, there's always got to be a guy from this side that replaces them to the right side to have a balanced rush. The problem was there was nobody that replaced him, so it wasn't a balanced rush. It was collapsed to the left side. Nobody was over here to the right. So the quarterback now escapes. He sees that he's got all this room to run. Right. And so here on this side, on the outside linebacker to this side was Matthew Judon.
He's in coverage right here. He drops, he reroutes his guy, he settles back. All of a sudden, Josh Allen, he sees all this space, he takes off, and he's going to start running. Matthew Judon has to come up and make the play, and this is the moment of truth. He gets up here. What Matthew Judon has to do is when you have all this field as a linebacker going up against a running back, quarterback, you have to force him one way. Don't give him a two-way go. Matthew Judon, as he comes up, he comes right up down the middle of the quarterback, giving him a two-way go. All right, with all that space, that's a tough ask. What Matthew Judon should have done, Phil, is he's coming up, favor one side. Come up, favor one side, forcing him inside to where your help is. Now you collapse, help him and make the play, but force it to where your help is on the inside. He had help coming. Juwan Bentley was there to help him. Instead, Matthew Judon takes him down the middle, gives the quarterback a two-way go. It makes the slippery, goes right on by him.
Disciplined rush lanes. You talk about it with how they rushed on that play. That's something we talked about just last week. The Patriots against Tua Tagovailoa, they had some issues with. So this was a consistent problem for them, Ted. And the off-script ability of Josh Allen, a real problem as well, because even if he's not running for 26 yards down the field, he can buy himself time in the pocket and throw deep down the field. He can kill you in a number of different ways just by holding on to the football for an extended period of time. It feels like any defense would have a tough time doing this, but especially a defense that really wants to play by its rules, right? It has rules for each sort of call, and Josh Allen just breaks those rules.
And that's Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick has rules for everything. And so I think, and this is the term I want to give Tom Curran credit for this, we were talking about this, that Josh Allen is uniquely qualified to beat the Patriots because Bill Belichick, nobody scripts plays, it scouts teams, looks at more film, comes up with better plays to combat what you're doing on offense better than Bill Belichick. The one thing that you can't combat if you're Bill Belichick with Josh Allen is his ability to run. It's in scramble. It's off script. You can't plan for that. So Bill, all that film study and all that preparation, it means nothing against Josh Allen because of his ability to scramble. And so that's why I think he's uniquely qualified to beat the Patriots for that very reason.